Hi, T-Rod. This is the Adamic Covenant by Josie Jones, Liana Richardson, Araya Dixon, and Sienna Rios. First off, we have the covenant. What is the Adamic Covenant? The Adamic Covenant is the agreement God made with Adam, representing all humanity. This covenant has two parts: before the fall, Adamic Covenant, and after the fall, covenant of works or covenant of grace. Next, we have our Bible verse, which we chose Genesis 3:15. Even though Adam and Eve sinned, God still had a plan for redemption. Genesis 3:15, known as the first gospel, states, "I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. They will strike at your head, while you strike at their heel." This verse is a prophecy about Jesus. The serpent represents Satan, and the offspring of the woman refers to Jesus Christ. This verse tells us that Jesus will ultimately defeat Satan, crushing his head, but he will also suffer in the process, like how Jesus was crucified before rising from the dead. This verse is the first promise of salvation in the Bible. It shows that even though sin brought suffering, God was already planning to send Jesus to redeem humanity.
The importance of the covenant. The Adamic covenant is one of the most important covenants in the Bible because it lays the foundation for humanity's relationship with God, and the consequences of sin and the promise of redemption. There are three key reasons why this covenant matters. Number one, human responsibility and domination. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 28, God gives Adam and Eve a purpose to care for creation and rule over it responsibly. This shows that humans were meant to be stewards of the earth and not to destroy it, but to protect and cultivate it. Even after the fall, this responsibility remains. Today, we still see this is in the Catholic Church's teachings on environmental care and ethical responsibility over creation. Number two, the introduction of sin and the curse. When Adam and Eve disobeyed God, sin entered the world, affecting all of humanity. Genesis 3 describes the punishments. The serpent was cursed and humiliated. Eve would experience pain in childbirth and a struggle in relationships. Adam would have to work hard for survival, and death became inevitable. Humanity was separated from God, which is why suffering, sin, and death exist today. The covenant explains why the world is broken. Sin affects everything, from personal struggles to global suffering, but God did not abandon humanity. Number three, the first promise of redemption. Genesis chapter 3:15 contains the first prophecy of salvation. Even though Adam and Eve sinned, God already had a plan. Jesus Christ would come to defeat sin and restore what was lost. This shows that the Adamic covenant isn't just about punishment, it's about hope. It reminds us that even in our worst failures, God's mercy is greater, and He always has a plan to bring us back to Him.
Judgment. Is the Adamic Covenant still in effect today? Many Christians believe the covenant itself ended when Adam and Eve disobeyed God. However, its effects, including sin, death, and the struggle to obey God, are still a part of human experience. Some believe that humanity still has the responsibility to obey God as part of this original agreement. Others see Jesus as the fulfillment of the covenant, offering redemption and restoring the relationship between God and humanity. So, while the agreement itself may not be active, its consequences and deeper significance continue to influence Christians' belief. Genesis 17:19. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat its yield all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bear for you, and you shall eat the grass of the field. By the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread, until you return to the ground from which you are taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Thank you for listening.